It is 3 in the morning and you are awake again. You check the time, you work out how long is left. And somewhere in the back of your head, you think something is wrong with you. For most of recorded history, this was completely normal. People had a name for it. 2 names, in fact. In the 1990s, a historian went looking for something else entirely. Roger Ekirch was researching what night was like before street lighting, and he kept running into the same 2 phrases, over and over. First sleep, and second sleep. Not once or twice. He has since collected more than 2,000 of them, in a dozen languages. The oldest one is in Homer. The pattern they describe goes like this. You went to bed not long after dark. You slept for 3 or 4 hours. Then you woke up every night, and not by accident. And you stayed awake in the dark for an hour or 2. Then you slept again until dawn. Now, one thing before we go any further, because it matters. Historians argue about this, and they are still arguing about it now. Some point out that people living today without electric light do not all sleep this way. What nobody disputes is the writing. The phrases really are everywhere. So what is being argued over is how common it was. Keep that in mind as we go. The best evidence for that is a French doctor writing in the 1500s. He was giving couples advice on the best time to try for a baby, and it was not bedtime. It was after the first sleep. They have more enjoyment, he wrote, and they do it better. He is not explaining the idea to anyone. He assumes his readers already do it. So here is the night. You go up when the light goes. You sleep. And then, around midnight, you are awake. So is everyone else. This is the hour nobody wrote down, because nobody thought it was worth it. Then you go back. The second sleep runs to first light. And that was a normal night for about as long as we have records. So what on earth did people do with an hour of darkness in the middle of the night? Mostly, the answer is wonderfully boring. They lay there, they talked. Couples who worked apart all day finally had an hour together. They thought about things. People wrote that dreams were clearest in that hour. They prayed. There were prayers written specifically for the middle of the night. They ate a little, or took whatever medicine they had been told to take. Some got up and got on with something quiet. Mending, carding wool. Work that needed hands and almost no light. Checking on animals. A cow that is calving does not wait for morning. And because everybody woke at the same time, you were not alone in it. A whole village, awake in the dark, quietly, and nobody thinking it strange. Because we should be clear about how dark was. A rushlight is a reed dipped in fat. It burns for about 20 minutes. Candles cost money, so you did not burn them to lie in bed thinking. The fire got banked down under ash, so it would still be alive in the morning. So the waking hour was spent mostly in the dark, and people were completely used to that. Which brings us to the other half of all this. There is no clock in this house. There is no clock in most houses. The nearest thing to a public clock is the church, and it rings when somebody rings it. So you used what you had. A cockerel, which is reliable and also about an hour early. A candle with marks cut into it, burning down past 1 line an hour. And mostly the light itself, which is why the working day moved with the seasons. None of that needs to be accurate. If you start when it is light, near enough is fine. And then something arrives that does not care what the light is doing. A factory does not run on daylight. It runs on a shift, and a shift starts at a time. Miss the start of it, and the gate is shut, and you have lost the day's pay. The whistle went at the same hour, whatever the sky was doing. So now, a whole street of people has to be awake at a particular minute. Alarm clocks existed. They were expensive, and the cheap ones lied to you. So, for about a century, a lot of England was woken up by a person with a stick. They were called knocker-uppers, and it was a real job with real wages. 4 in the morning. Somebody is already out there. They have a list, and your window is on it. Tap, tap, tap. And they do not leave until they see you move. Then they go next door. A good one could wake a whole street in an hour and be home before the mill gate opened. It was usually older people, and very often women, walking the same streets every night. Sometimes a constable did it on his beat to top up his pay. One woman in East London used a pea shooter and fired dried peas at upstairs windows. Her name was Mary Smith, and she was paid 6p a week per house. Which raises the obvious question, and people asked it at the time: who woke the knocker-upper? Mostly, they did not go to bed. They slept in the evening and worked the night. Now here is what all of this was actually doing, and it took about 100 years. Gaslight came to the streets first, then into houses, and then electric light after it. And for the first time, the evening did not have to end when the sun did. So bedtime moved later. An hour, then 2. And the gap in the middle got squeezed from both ends until there was nothing left of it. By the end of the 1800s, the second sleep had almost gone out of the writing. And the same thing that took the waking hour away is what created the alarm clock. Because once the body was not setting the day anymore, something else had to. The body had been setting the day. Now the clock did. There is one more thing, and somebody actually went and tested it. In the early 90s, a researcher called Thomas Ware tried an experiment. He took 8 men and gave them 14 hours of darkness, a night, like a winter. Within a few weeks, they had split into 2 sleeps, with an hour or 2 awake in between. Nobody told them to. Take the light away for long enough, and the body clock does it on its own. That rhythm has a name, your circadian rhythm, and it is older than any clock on any wall. The knocker-uppers lasted longer than you would think too. The last one in England retired in 1973, 4 years after the moon landing. Which brings us back to your window, and it is the same window. So the next time you wake at 3 in the morning, nothing has gone wrong. Something very old is just still running. Next time, something half of every household dealt with every month and almost nobody wrote down. Before pads and tampons. What women used instead. See you there.